Hey everyone, welcome back to the, very first dev stream in quite a while. Don't even remember how long it's been really. But it's definitely been a few months. Um, yeah, it's been a while. It's good to be back doing this. Don't know if I'm gonna be doing it every week, we'll see. But we're gonna get it started again. So we'll be doing these, and we'll also be doing live streams as well. We're thinking about probably doing those on probably Sundays now, because she's going to be working during the week now. We were doing them on Mondays before, but probably not going to work going forward. But yeah, we'll probably do those on Sundays, and I'll go back to doing these on Wednesdays. What's up, Pony Bro? How's it going? How's everybody doing tonight? It is a very, very dark and dreary day today, but we've been making some pretty good progress lately. Um, yeah, so it's kind of the whole reason that I haven't really been doing many dev streams lately is because for probably the past like 2 or 3 months, TFZ and I have just been like absolutely banging our heads against a couple of really specific bugs that were affecting a lot of things. Um, and it was literally I talked about this a little bit on live stream on last Sunday, but yeah, we were literally working on these bugs for like 2 3 months straight with just like zero movement whatsoever, like no progress at all. And it was just, incredibly demotivating for both of us, obviously. But that being said, last weekend, we actually basically fixed both of those within the span of like a 24-hour period. They were completely unrelated, but it just kind of worked out that way. So that's like two major hurdles that we've gotten over, in the past week. Um, those were like the two main things that have been holding up the release of RB3. And now we still do have parts of one of those issues to resolve, but we understand what the problem is now, and it's just a matter of you know applying the fixes that we've devised. And TFC is going to be joining me here shortly. I think he's just getting some food together and stuff now. But yeah, we're going to be going through some of those remaining things and seeing if we can fix the rest of them. What's up, Matthew, Garrett, Ninchies, Icronics? How is everyone doing? So the things that we fixed most recently here. So first off, anybody who's played the dev build has probably noticed that there were some random things that were just translucent for no reason. One of the biggest things that people noticed was that the top of Maru's head was just completely see-through. You could just see directly inside of her head. Um, and that was a really, really simple issue, but the fix was super complicated. Um, when I initially wrote the render engine for Severed Chains for RB3, when I started doing the like render overhaul to convert everything to OpenGL, um, I wrote everything as sort of like a unified rendering pipeline. So everything that got rendered just went through the same rendering pipeline, the same shader. And the reason I did that was because that shader did a lot of emulation of the PS1 GPU. Um, it does like all of the like CLUT decoding and like texture decoding and everything, and merging all that stuff together, um, and then doing the ultimate rendering. Um, But due to the many, many, many edge cases in Legend of Dragoon rendering code, and the fact that there were like 9 different 3D model renderers, as well as um, just a bunch of different like 2D renderers and things like that, it just got incredibly complicated and it just wasn't maintainable. And with that current setup, well, with the old setup, it there was just no way to actually fix that. So, long story short, we have yet again completely rewritten the render engine. Um, so that was a huge task, but now it's in a much better state. So, A, it allowed us to fix this. Um, B, even though there's multiple rendering pipelines now, each one of them is drastically simpler, which makes them a lot easier to work with, a lot easier to understand. And another benefit for the future. Now this isn't really going to come into play until RB4, but it's going to allow mods to do like custom rendering a lot more easily. Like rendering that doesn't necessarily have to go through the like weird PS1 GPU emulation and stuff like that. They'll be able to just like implement their own rendering however they want to, and that'll make it a lot easier for modders. Um, so that's a really nice change. Just kind of a side effect of other work that needed to be done anyway, but sort of like a double benefit anyway. Ray traced LOD, we'll get on it, Zychronics. I do once we release RB3, once we get these remaining bugs fixed, I do actually plan on just sort of like taking some, not taking like time off, but working on some more fun stuff for a few weeks. And one of those things that I plan on doing is adding real-time shadows, like real-time lighting and shadows. Not gonna do ray tracing or anything crazy like that, but yeah, I think that would be a very, very interesting effect in battle, especially. Um, and I might also do a little bit of work on like model materials, which would be things like making swords shiny, for example. I think that would be another very interesting effect that we could look into doing that would really improve the render quality. Yeah, Garrett says not a bug. She's an airhead, referring to Shauna's translucent head and no brain. Very true. No brain because she minned intelligence to max out personality. Yeah, zero intelligence and yeah, maxed out charisma. Maru is the bard, probably. What's up, Leningrad? Saturn, Chocolate, how's it going? 25th anniversary custom intro would be nice for the game. This time revealing revealing the spoilers. I don't know. We do still have a lot of new players coming in, believe it or not. So, we don't want to like bake spoilers into the game or anything like that, obviously. But yeah. Ray tracing. I'm not doing ray tracing. Sorry, guys. I am planning on doing real-time shadows and real-time lighting, but yeah, I'm not gonna put the time into ray tracing. It wouldn't have like any effect over like the approximations in such an old game anyway. But real-time shadows would be very cool, like some ambient occlusion and real-time shadows would make a huge difference in the render quality, I think. The Frosty, Elemental Light, Middleton. Give Maru a phone. Oh yeah, no worries. No worries at all. Yeah, For this upcoming release, we have finished the like V1 of No Dart, which means that you can use No Dart fully throughout the game. And we have moved it into an in-game option now because we have fixed all the crashes and issues. Um, but there are still fights where the game will force Dart into your party. Um, there's various spots where the game just like completely overwrites what your party is, and we are probably not going to be touching any of those for RB3. However, with RB4, we're going to be adding a like secondary no dart mode. And basically what that'll do is it'll be like a full like whole game unlock. You'll start the game with every character already unlocked. And the game will not force anything whatsoever for the entire game. So this will kind of like break storyline stuff and whatnot, but this would be for, people coming back to the game for like the millionth time who just want to play the game like exactly as they want to, right? So you'll have all nine characters, and you'll just always have them for the entire game. No story event will affect your party whatsoever. Yeah, it'll be pretty cool, Nishi. It's definitely something that a lot of people want. It's been something that you could do with Dramod for a little while, but yeah, it'll be nice to incorporate that into the core of Severed Chains. Yeah, New Game Plus is another thing that we want to look at doing, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly how we would do that in like a reasonable way, considering the power dynamic. Whether we would just say, yeah, you can have a New Game Plus and you'll just be super strong, or if we'll do some kind of like level scaling or whatever. But of course, that gets really tricky. Because the enemies aren't really, meant to be scaled. But we'll figure something out when the time comes. That would be, down the line some more, maybe RB4 or something like that. Yes, you could have all three members of whoever you want once we add this feature. Yep. And of course we are giving Zychronics ideas, which is just never a good idea, but it is what it is. Or we could do something else with New Game Plus. We could even actually we could do something where we could say like give the player options. We could say like, what do you want to transfer over? And you could do like I want to transfer my items, my equipment, but I don't want to transfer my levels. And you could start the game at the normal level, dart at level 1, um, but still have all of your gear and items from the last game, gold, whatever. Just kind of have it like a customizable thing so the player could choose what they want to keep and what they don't want to. Be interesting. Casual mode, we do actually already have a few options for that. We've got like automatic additions and automatic Dragoon additions, auto button mashing. We could do like further difficulty tuning that changes the difficulty of enemies and stuff too. Um, it's something we kind of have to take a look at very closely because balance in a game is very hard. I mean, just look at LOD as it is. It is not a very balanced game, especially when you have Shauna in your party and you're just one-shotting bosses. What's up, Sven? Been following you anonymously for a long time and keep checking in, but my question is about the upscaling of the background. When will it be playable for everyone? So the upscaled backgrounds is a mod being developed by the Flying Zamboni and Zychronics. It will be available sometime after RB3 is released. And it will be a mod that you'll be able to download and just drop into the mods folder. They plan to release a few different versions of it, different resolutions for people who really want like the super high res. They'll have like a 4K version. If you want like a smaller download size, you don't have a 4K display, they'll have a 1080p version, etc., etc. So that'll be coming sometime after RB3 releases. Both of them have been very, very hard at work, helping me with Severed Chains, and Zycronix is also the creator and developer of Dramod as well, Dragoon modifier. So they're both very busy. And RB3 is required for that to even be usable. So yeah, it'll be some time. They'll get back to working on it once RB3 is released. Candy Crush mode. I don't think we'll do that. But a good suggestion. Take the MGS approach, have difficulty modes and certain achievements from the last playthrough mean new game brings bonus gear such as infinite ammo bandana. Yeah, we could have like certain modifiers and things that would be unlocked. 1080p display, yeah. And you can also choose higher resolutions in the Severed Chains configuration as well, which will essentially give you like super sample anti-aliasing, which kind of smooths out the 3D models and stuff like that. 1 HP challenge mode. I mean, yeah, we could basically just change the player stat tables so that every level the max HP is just 1. That would be interesting. We do want to add challenge modes as well as like a option lock concept where, once you have set your difficulty options, you can choose to lock them to sort of do like an Iron Man mode. I think that would be pretty interesting. Big head mode, that is something that Drew has wanted for a very, very long time. Also, no head mode for the Severed Chains nostalgia. Kind of surprised TFC hasn't shown up yet. Send him a message and see what he's doing. Lloyd no head mod. Wasn't that part of the like marketing material? Lloyd with no head. Gonna see if I can find that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in a Google search, but I'm pretty sure that that was a thing. Was that TFC? It is TFC. What's up?
Just finished work.
Nice. You're a little quiet for me. I can probably just turn up my
Am I?
audio.
Do I sound louder now?
Yes, but I also turned up my volume, so it
Okay.
could be either.
I I also just talk quietly sometimes, so I
Okay.
tried talking a little louder.
How's the audio levels, chat? Can you hear TFC okay?
Or at all. I feel like there have been times where I was not actually being heard on stream.
Ninchi says you're a little quiet.
I can try increasing my mic sensitivity.
Might as well. Apparently me turning up my volume has also turned you up, so yeah, that's a little loud for me now.
Uh,
Okay, yes, Decapitated Lloyd was part of the marketing cycle.
uh, I lied. My input volume is already turned up to max on Discord.
Okay. I don't want to screw around with my recording settings, so I'm just gonna turn up the desktop audio and we'll just turn Severed Chains down a bit. All right. Here it says you're good now.
Awesome.
Permadeath would also be pretty interesting, yeah. Basically anything is possible. I think once the time rolls around, we'll probably do some crowdsourcing for ideas on challenge runs and see what we can implement into Severed Chains. Yeah, I've
Are
done
you able to simulcast on the Discord chat?
great question. We will see how this
just
affects my
just so I
internet.
can maybe see what you're doing with slightly less latency.
Yeah, we'll see how this works. If this causes YouTube to lag, then I'll have to shut it down. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Chat, let me know if this causes things to lag. No HUD mode at all.
Okay,
Actually,
much better.
I think this clone is actually
There's like a good 5 seconds between the Discord stream and the YouTube stream.
yeah, not surprised. Yeah, elemental boss rush is another thing that people have requested. And actually, one of our devs actually worked on that a bit, but I won't say anything other than that. Okay. Got music disabled. I am going to just turn down the game to like half volume as well, just for good measure. Yeah, I haven't actually done anything yet, TFC. I've just been like rambling this entire time. So, you haven't missed anything.
Cool. Just showing off the bird.
Yep. So this bird was one of the symptoms of that what we needed to rewrite the render engine for. Not sure if it was touched on at some point, but what's the likelihood of being able to mod mesh replacements for characters, for example? Yeah, we've already done that. That'll be part of the modding API. Yeah, we've done a bunch of different streams related to various things like that. We swapped out models on the world map to everything from dart carrying Shauna to Pelpy the Menintos to a dog and a goose. Um, yeah, we were running around the world map as a goose for a while. That was fun. Did another stream where we replaced Miranda with Lloyd. That was interesting. When he transformed into a dragon, he turned into his fancy wingly armor mode. That was also interesting. Um, Egyptian goose go honk. I hate it. Um, Shock, that is a difficult question to answer. Technically, mesh deformation is supported. However, it is only supported for a very specific custom file format in Legend of Dragoon, and it's only used in certain places in the battle engine, um, and only in cutscenes, I believe. Cutscenes and a couple of effects, maybe.
There's
Um,
a decent number of combat effects that use it.
okay. Yeah, so as it stands, that is like overall a no. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's really gonna depend how much time we're gonna be able to dedicate to like supporting different model formats and things like that, or if the time or like for the time being we'll just have to support the more simple animations of the day. Doom Metal has already made a tool to generate new animations for Severed Chains using Blender. And that works really well. We've actually featured some of those in some of the promotional Severed Chains videos. Specifically, one of the last videos that we did a while ago, where we showed off the 60 frames per second and the upscaled backgrounds at the start of the game. We actually had to replace Rose's animation, like her breathing animation at the very beginning, because it just looks so bad in high definition. Like her entire torso just kind of slides back and forth. I can show you that real quick, actually. Charismatic, yeah, we do plan on adding some various new game plus options in the future. Likely around RB4. Zachary, no, we've upped most of the game to 60 frames per second. Battle will still be at 20 frames per second for this release because that is going to be a huge, huge task to update. But everything else is 60. So yeah, if you look at Rose's breathing animation here, it's just like her torso sliding back and forth. And it's not good. There's quite a bit of stuff like this, and yeah, it's pretty rough. Yeah, we had Doom Metal actually make a brand new idle animation for her for that promo video, and we'll probably incorporate that into Severed Chains at some point. Yeah, the low resolution. I mean, the game ran at 320 by 240, and the um, CRT blurriness and scan lines really masked a lot of this as well. Um, it also masked a lot of rendering bugs that most people never really noticed. Like for example, if you look in the library in Bale, one of the patrons of the library has his face texture on his chest and his chest texture on his face, um, which looks extremely cursed. Yeah, Elemental. There's a lot of animations that just kind of look like jank, but they are just like kind of doing the best they could with the technology they had. Um, they had to make a lot of these like really like exaggerated animations like this because they just wouldn't be visible otherwise, right? You can't see subtle movements when you're talking about like 320 by 240 res on a CRT. You just can't see them. So they've got to be like, exaggerated, and the blurriness just kind of you know, smooths them out. What is needed to make custom editions? Can they be made via Blender? You can make the animations in Blender. We don't have the modding facilities for that yet, but if you were to modify the source code, you would be able to define new editions with new animations. It would be more work now than it would be once we. Oh, my chat just disconnected. There we go. Did I drop out there for a second, or was that just YouTube being weird? Anyway, what I was saying is you could do it now, but it would be a lot more work than once we've added the facilities for doing that. All right, just the chat. That's cool. That happened to me last stream as well. Not really sure why. What major things did we fix? We talked about this briefly earlier as well. So there was some major fundamental issues with the way that I originally wrote the rendering pipeline, and it caused some bugs where, for example, things that weren't supposed to be transparent would be completely transparent, such as you could see directly inside of Maru's skull. There was random birds and things like that you could see through. And we basically had to like rewrite a lot of the rendering engine again in order to fix that, and that's been like a real drag for the past few months. But we finished that over the weekend. There is also a very large series of bugs that are all caused by the same kind of like one big issue that's kind of present in a couple of places. And TFC and I had been basically like banging our heads against that wall for literally months. Like we were working on this for what, TFC, like 2 3 months with just
I
no
don't know.
progress. Yeah, exactly.
We
It's been
would
so
do it,
long.
and then we just like stop, and then try it again later, and still get nowhere.
Yeah, like it was literally like 2 3, maybe even more months of just zero progress at all, like nothing. Um and we would just like, go at it for like days and days and just we just couldn't figure it out. But yeah, like over the weekend, we actually figured out what the core issue is, and now it's just going to be a matter of implementing those fixes. We have already fixed a couple of the issues, which has resolved quite a few tickets, and fixing the remaining ones will resolve a lot more as well. So that's going to be very nice. This is like one of the like really big things that's been holding up RB3, and that was like super demotivating for both of us, because it was every time we looked into it we just made no progress whatsoever, and it was just brutal.
That and the engine overhaul.
Yeah,
We've increased our number of like collaborative coding discussions just to like mutually motivate.
yeah. And that's the thing, like we were both so demotivated that like neither of us wanted to actually like even do anything. So we've just been kind of like hopping on Discord calls together to just, you know basically force each other to do work. And it worked. Like we have figured out the issue now, so yeah. And it's very nice. That I like that was definitely part of the reason why like I wasn't feeling like doing the dev streams and stuff like that. We were just both like completely demotivated on everything. But it's very good. We solved both of those problems within like a day of each other. And that really helps a lot with the motivation when you finally get over that hurdle. So hopefully things are going to be moving a lot more smoothly now. Um, and what we are planning on doing here today is hopefully making a little bit more progress on fixing the remaining vestiges of those bugs with this solution that we've come up with. Yeah, it was just YouTube being weird. That's good. Rose swimsuit alt, important for serious scenes. I'm not convinced that that would be in line with Rose's personality, but you do you. What's up, J-Man? Good to see ya. YouTube is doing weird stuff again.
Yeah, what the hell? They went to Fernie and there was no spa episode?
No spa episode. YouTube's being weird. I might have to kill the Discord stream, TFC.
Alas.
Yeah, we tried. Yeah, we tried. All right, we'll just do the YouTube stream. Sorry. Zachary asks, can we use a undub mod? That is something that, well, I can actually just show this here. If we go to the unpacked game files, all of the cutscenes are unpacked like this. It just uses the standard PS1 format. If you want to undub the cutscenes, it's very easy to do that. And with RB4, we also plan on adding complete retranslation support for the entire game. And we will ship with a Japanese translation, um, the original Japanese translation from the JP version of the game. Um, and we may or may not ship with a like sort of like overhauled English translation as well. That just kind of improves on some of the jank in the retail English translation. Of course, we will still include the original as well. It would be an option for you to use our retranslation because, some people have very, very strong opinions on, the game script and things like that. And, we don't want to steamroll anybody's experience with the game. Any sort of like major changes that we make like this, it'll all definitely be like completely optional. Um, New players coming fresh to the game might want to use the retranslated version. They don't have the nostalgia for the old one. But there's diehard fans, of course, who would definitely want to use the original. So we're not going to take away any options like that.
Oh, what an interesting comment, Pony Bro.
What was Pony Bro's comment? Can't fix the VA. Actually, there is a team called Echo S. Sorry, their tool is called Echo S. It's the Suna Mods group using their Echo S tool, and they're working on a completely voiced mod, like 100% fully voiced mod for Severed Chains. That will come sometime probably after RB4, once we get the retranslation support and stuff like that in. And it will be, all dialogue in the game will be fully voiced. All of the cutscenes and things will be fully voiced. They'll be redoing the battle cries and whatnot, addition callouts, and all that stuff. So, I mean, technically, we can fix the VA. Mo, I am not sure what you mean by missing no, aka Shauna. Can you clarify that? Blame Lloyd for killing Discord stream. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, Garrett, that's kind of the issue with a lot of like, AAA games and like official remakes of games and things like that. Um a lot of the time, they'll make very questionable changes that, some people like and other people don't. And, it's very divisive. So anytime that, we make like any kind of gameplay change, we're gonna give the players, the option to reverse that. There's very, very few things that we are actually like, going to force on the players, specifically for that reason. Like we've done various like graphical fixes and things like that. Um, just sort of like subtle bugs that were in the retail version of the game that a lot of people didn't notice, and most people aren't even going to notice that we fixed them. But if we didn't fix them, you'd be able to see that they were broken in Severed Chains because it's so much higher resolution. Everything is so much clearer. Stuff like that guy in Bale with his chest on his face and his face on his chest. Claire with her weird like broken face texture. Dart with no arms in the Lavitz oof cutscene, and his Lavitz is chest plate being like laying on the ground in the background. All kinds of just, weird, subtle things like that. Dart falling on his face in the Twin Castle and just kind of laying on the ground for a while is another one.
That's canon.
He just has to take a quick nap.
Intentional decision.
Which placeholder Pokemon, which could not be there. Oh, but Shauna is not useless. Shauna is the strongest character in the game.
Donna the boss deleter.
Yeah, Shauna will you throw a couple of item magics and every boss is dead. Give Dart the Buster Sword. Come on. LOD already has to live in the shadow of Final Fantasy. Zychronix desperately wants to Final Fantasyify the menus, but if he does that, then we're banning him. What's up, Drew? What's going on? Give Shauna a Glock. What are some definitive post-game stuffs you will implement? So we want to add a lot of challenge options. Charismatic is asking if there's a new game plus. It doesn't have a new game plus right now, but that is one of the post game things that we are planning on adding. New game plus, where we will allow players to transfer over various things from their previous game to the new one. I'm planning on adding like various options for that. So you could say like I want to transfer over my equipment. I want to transfer over my items. And my gold, but I don't want to transfer over my levels. So you could still start the game at level 1, um, but with all your gear and items and whatnot. Or you could choose to stay at the same level and just kind of power through the game, blow through as quickly as possible, see if you can hit max level. We need silly options mod to make things derp. Like just have Lavitz be in T-pose when he gets oofed. Actually, so here's the thing with T-pose in Legend of Dragoon. It's not a T-pose. Um, Basically all of the body parts are just in like a pile on top of each other. Dart is just like a dart turtle with a sword sticking out of it. Which is probably even more ridiculous. But, definitely not an
Bad
actual
news. We had a bug like that for some attacks, and we fixed it. So
Yeah, I guess.
we're moving further from what you want.
Zachary asked what the highest resolution we can run the game at is. Right now, the highest resolution I have available in the options is 8K. Um, but that's just like an arbitrary thing. Um, and if you have a monitor that is higher than 8K, you can just set it to native and it'll render at whatever your monitor resolution is, even if it's higher than 8K. We could also just add new resolutions as simply as doing this. There. Now there's a 16K option. You know, it's just basically like completely arbitrary, right? Is it possible to remove the level requirements for editions? That's actually another interesting thing. Carrying over editions. That's something that we would definitely want to add to the list too. Like I said earlier when we were discussing this before, we will definitely be like crowdsourcing this like requests from players to see the kind of things that everyone really wants. Dart Turtle sounds like something the LOD fan art community will go wild over. Come on, people, where's all the Severed Chains fan art? Get on it.
Where is dirt? Where is the dirt fan art?
We want dirt. Come on. We've got all of this comedy gold. We've got dirt. This is dirt. Say hello, everybody. Dirt with his weirdly detailed eyes. Um, we've got Drat, which is well, actually, this kind of shows a good example of the not really T pose, but LOD equivalent of T pose. This isn't exactly that, but this was due to doing math backwards, basically. Every day we stray a little further from jank, unfortunately. We're gonna have to add a jank mode back to Severed Chains. Dirt made out of Minecraft dirt blocks.
I
Charismatic.
said like
Sorry, go ahead, TFC.
I said like 2 years ago, we need to record the state when we find comical bugs so we can re-implement them later. Like we've lost exploding dart forever.
Yeah. Now I do have all these screenshots. Um, this is my Kofi profile picture. Long live No Head Albert. I do have all these screenshots which have timestamps, so we probably could rewind to most of these states at any given time. Baby Arms Albert, which is my favorite. Bagpipe music mode, yes. Charismatic also asked if we can play past disc one with Lavitz. Um, so that is something that you can do in Severed Chains right now, if you use the debugger. I can actually demonstrate this. It's very easy to do. Yes, Lego Legend of Dragoon. I love the Lego games. Alright, so observe that we do not have Lavitz. Now if I press F12 to open the debugger and go into the game state editor, I can select Lavitz from the list here, go to his party flags, set it to 3, and now I have Lavitz again. And he may only be level 13, but boy is he there. Um, after we finish RB3 and we start working on RB4 as well. I do also plan on adding a we have party unlock now, so you'll notice like right now I can't select Dart. If we go into the options here, gameplay options, and I scroll down and check off unlock party. If I go to replace, you can see now I can select Dart and I can swap him out. If I wanted to, I could even like take a character out of the party and just roll with like one or two characters. Um, Now there are some restrictions to this though. There are various points where the game will force characters in and out of your party. And it will like force you to like bring a specific character into a fight and not give you access to your menu to remove them again. Um, like before you get into that fight, so you're effectively forced to use that character. We're going to be adding a second mode to the unlock party that will basically make it so you start the game with every single character unlocked. And the game will never touch your party at all, no matter what. Like even after like Lavitz dies, um, he will still just stay in your party, as if nothing had happened. And that'll be, obviously not for like your first time players playing the game for the very first time and wanting to like experience the story. But it would be for your like seasoned veteran who's come back to the game, 50 times and just wants to play the game in a new way with whatever the hell characters they want, right? Yeah, so that'll be very nice. It'd be very cool for New Game Plus as well. You could do like a solo run with like a character that's a slightly higher level than it's supposed to be or whatever. You can we just want people to be able to play the game in any way that they want to. Ranges heard Albert and no filter was present. Yeah, the mouse control is pretty nice. We've got mouse control for a lot of the menus. Like I can go through basically any of this stuff with mouse and keyboard. Makes a pretty big difference for usability. We do plan on overhauling some of the menus a little bit further as well, to make it so we can like increase the amount of information that we're able to display. Right now we're kind of restricted on what we can do in terms of like, for example, I would like to be able to expand the equipment screen to show you like a before and after rather than, just saying like, this weapon is worse than what you have, but I don't actually know what my original like damage like attack stat was. Um so basically like increasing the resolution of these screens so and like decreasing the font sizes and stuff like that so we can just fit more information, have it look a little cleaner, expose as much information as we can to the player. Lloyd casually floating away like a Saturday morning cartoon villain. We did have that with Rose at the start of the game, when we first started Severed Chains. Would it be possible to use only one auto edition on the edition the player struggles with? That is something that somebody brought up somewhat recently, and I do think that that is a very good idea. I'm not sure exactly how we would implement that, but I do think that's a good idea, and it's something that I would like to do. Make him look different after dying if he stays in the party. Yeah, Justin, we can swap. We can just swap him out with the zombie Lavits after he dies, and then you just play the rest of the game with zombie Lavits. Start using both dragoons and also an option for dragoons to use throwing magic. Yeah, we do plan on expanding the dragoon capabilities. This will be all optional, of course, but we're going to allow dragoons to we may allow them to use items. We'll probably allow them to run away. We'll also add a detransform button, so you can just like go into dragoon form for a turn and then detransform after. Like that would be a nice quality of life thing. Being able to use both dragoons would be pretty interesting too. Just kind of like an option of which one to use. That'd be cool. Yeah, zombie Lavits would be pretty frigging sweet. Oh yes, Dragoon Guard as well. Actually, fun fact, there's animations for all the Dragoons to use Guard in the game files. They're just not used. So that's a pretty easy thing for us to add, actually. Yeah, two options for guarding would be interesting. That's probably verging more into like mod territory rather than like core severed chains, but yeah, that would be a pretty cool thing to do. All right, well, we are an hour in TFC. We should start doing something.
Maybe you haven't been doing things. I've been looking at
Oh,
things.
you've been looking at code.
I've been looking at code.
Oh, we've got people asking more things. I'm pretty sure that this is going to crash, yeah, as soon as I open it. I haven't finished updating it for the changes we've made in the dev build yet to how items work. Um, However, I'm not actually sure if I've ever shown this off. Um, where is it? Why do I have two of these? All right, we just got to give this a minute to load. I've not fired this up since for a very long time. But yeah, so long story short, I have fully reverse engineered the Daba spin-off game and ported it to PC as well. It is not in a state right now where we could integrate it into Severed Chains, but it is fully playable. Let's see if this is the right one. Yeah, so this is the Dabus spin-off game. You play as Dabus going on underground adventures. I'm not sure if this is a fully working clone or not, but it looks like it is. Looks like we're coming up. Oh, actually, maybe this isn't it. Anyway, I have two clones of it on my computer for whatever reason. I don't remember why. But anyway, one of them is fully working, and it's just going to be a matter of you know, me having the time to like clean it up and get it into a state where we can actually integrate it into severed chains, and it'll just be something that you can launch directly from the menu. Yeah, Frosty, that's something that we plan on doing at some point in the future. Not sure exactly when, but we have actually already done some testing with that. Doom Metal made me a Christmas present a year or two ago, which was Dart's sword replaced with a candy cane. So that was pretty fun. Basically just like a model that you could swap in to replace it. Yes, unlockable Dabus. We need the true main character. Yes, everybody do as Garrett says. Please like the video if you like what we're doing here, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this. I do dev streams on Wednesdays. This is the first one that I've done in quite a while, but I do plan on getting back to them now. Now that we've gotten over those hurdles that we were talking about earlier, I think we'll be able to be a lot more consistent with the dev stream videos going forward. So yeah, I'll be doing those most Wednesdays. My wife is also doing a stream on the channel every Sunday. And she is playing through Legend of Dragoon for the very first time. She knows literally nothing about the game. She has somehow managed to live in the same house as me for the entire duration of the 4 years that I've been working on this project, and still know literally nothing about the game, aside from hearing the same songs over and over and over again ad nauseum. But yeah, she's been really enjoying the game. She's chomping at the bit to keep playing, and yeah, she's been doing pretty good. She's getting pretty close to disc 3 now, so that's gonna be every Sunday. Drew also does streams once in a while too. They just did a community stream around a week ago, I think, for the 25th anniversary. We're coming up on that in what is it, December? Oh, it was Saturday. I'm just completely all over the place with time.
Well, we were actively like elbow deep in code at the time.
True. That was, oh right, that was when we were actually like, we had those like brain waves and figured out what exactly the problem with all those bugs was finally. And felt kind of bad missing the stream, but man, after like 3 months of working on that and finally figuring it out, we just had to do it. Yeah. So let's get started here, TFC. So what should we look at here?
You know what I've been doing. You know I'm look.
Dark
You know I'm
Dragon.
looking at all these dragons. That
It's
that
it's
and the divine dragon like roar magic attack with the like misplaced effect, which I've
yeah.
discovered another interesting thing about the misplaced roar effect is actually also misplaced in the old renderer,
Is it?
unlike Dark Dragon, which is not
Well,
really.
that's interesting. Um,
Sure is.
so
Not
there's
sure if it's
definitely
interesting in a good or bad way.
well, that means that it's not related to the other issues we've been fixing.
The the bit of script that I had shared on Discord earlier is from the Divine Dragon attack.
I thought I had some status effect items here, but I guess not. I'm just going to add a couple of those to my inventory. Healing Breeze, we're gonna replace that with Panic Bell. Lumberjack Kongle. All right, so this is one of the things that we recently fixed. There was an issue with all status items where they just look super janky. They're all rendering great now.
Well,
Is that what it's supposed to sound like?
Midnight Terror has a bug.
Is that bugged?
What? I I can't hear the actual game audio.
Oh man. Is that actually what that's supposed to sound like, or is that ridiculously bugged? Because that was hilarious.
I don't know what you're hearing. It should sound like clanging bells.
It did sound like clanging bells, but there was also like a whir, 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 whir in the background.
I don't think that's right. Also, can since you're always running in widescreen, I can now tell that that effect was not designed for widescreen.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't use status effect items like basically ever because for the most part they're pretty
Nobody
completely
nobody does.
pointless.
There's no reason
um
to ever be using them unless you're fighting like a rainbow bird.
okay, Eric says it's correct. That is hilarious. That is actually hilarious. What did you say was still bugged? Night Raid?
Midnight Terror
Midnight
still
Terror.
has the really aggressive fog cloud, but the screaming faces are working right now.
Let's take a look at this. Garrett, the question marks being upside down is actually a retail bug. We do plan on fixing that, but yeah. Fun fact, for every single one of these status effect items, it's upside down. Yeah, clearly too bright, but the main part of the effect is actually working properly now. Needs to be usable on bosses. Yeah, that would definitely improve things. We actually haven't really run through a lot of effects to see what's working and what's not now.
Yeah, you could also
Um,
work on those
yeah,
some of those
Shauna's
brightness issues.
yeah, the feathers in Shauna's transformation are still weird. They're not actually rendering, but they're like cutting out the like cylinder. Like you can see where they're supposed to
Hmm,
be, but they're invisible. So that's pretty weird.
it is weird.
Looking pretty good. It's kind of uncanny hearing all of these things with no music in the background. Oh, I don't have Dark Dragon on this save.
Hectic
Uh,
these days.
Zachary, increasing the chance of getting sachets is actually possible to do very easily in the modding API right now. Um, it requires like some basic programming skills, but yeah, anybody who downloads the Zipper Chains dev kit can do that fairly easily using the enemy drops event. What's up, boogers?
This one's got at least two issues I know of. The black glow should be visible when it's traveling up the sword. Um, and
And the screenshot's just
this
not.
is just well, okay, three. Screenshot's not working. The swirl's too dark. There's like some overlay that's like overly darkened,
Mm-hmm.
which I think might be the same thing that's going on with Dark Mist and might also be related to Midnight Terror being too bright.
Yeah. Do you know what effects those are?
Um, the not all components of them.
Okay.
I don't
Hmm.
might be able to. I've fixed issues with that like red glow on the sword before. Might have
True.
mentioned what effect that was.
That's probably in your effects ticket.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there.
From a year and a half ago. Some transparent effects don't blend slash display properly, like red glow in Death Dimension, or are invisible. Does that sound like this?
That one, I think the red glow was like inverted in color.
But does that sounds like the effect you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's that component of the spell or part of it.
Hmm.
There's like a couple there is a couple different pieces. There's like a bunch of like B minus F like polygons overlaying each other, I think, to do
Gotcha.
that the black interior glow. I think the red one might just be like some kind of buckyball looking thing.
Okay, these were changes to the renderer actually.
Hmm. Oh, well, I'm not sure that's gonna help us now.
I wonder if the battle lighting stuff in the shader is actually correct.
Maybe. Could be an issue.
I think that's done in the vertex shader. Yeah, so that should be this here. Yeah, that is indeed this stuff. So let's see what we've got here.
It's interesting with that black core and the glow is that it actually reappears once it's past the sword.
Okay, that is interesting. So it looks like those were 12-bit fixed point numbers. Yeah, we are multiplying and then shifting. The change here was simply, yeah, actually bringing that stuff in. Zachary, that is another option that we plan to add. It's not something that we've done now, but yeah, that's something that we do plan to add. Okay, I know I have this code under a comment that says gross hack, bro. So let's take a look at this. What do we got here? So the default value is getting set to half, assuming I assume that 1/2 is considered 100% and 1 is considered 200%. So let's take
Whoopsie.
a look at these changes. Yeah, okay, so that, yeah, okay. So we're getting set to hex 800, so that would be 0.5, that is correct. Um, let's see here. That looks fine.
Yeah. What the hell?
Hmm.
At this exact frame that I have shared with you is
This,
when it suddenly starts showing the black.
okay. Is it not supposed to?
Believe it, unless I'm greatly mistaken, it should be there the whole time.
Oh, okay. That is interesting. I wonder if that might be like an ordering thing or something.
Maybe, but I was like free camming it and I couldn't find it at all.
Gotcha. Okay, that's pretty odd. Okay, so those were just renames. Do some changes to S effect. These are also just renames. Names, renames.
Yeah.
Are there any actual changes here? Those got shifted down.
It's also a lot less intense than it looks like it should be.
Yeah,
Like the darkness in the center.
okay.
Like, here's a
Um,
bit out of a YouTube video.
okay, here's a thing. Since Hex 800 is middle intensity, should this be divided by 128?
This was, I mean, I think this was working prior to OpenGL. Do you know when these extra changes were made?
What changes are you referring to?
I don't know, whatever conversion. Like, we converted this prior to OpenGL, right? The colors to floats.
Yes, I think. I mean, we can take a look at the blame. Let's see. So this was converted. This commit was May 22nd. Actually, these colors aren't even floats now.
Oh.
They were only converted to floats at the time of render.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that being said, these are, I want to do that.
So I think it used to work in Sever Chains, but I'm feeling really allergic to re-unpacking all of my
Fair
files
enough.
to check earlier in time.
Zachary, this is a completely decompiled, and basically, well, I reverse engineered and decompiled the entire game. Um, this is not the original source code. I wrote all of this, but it is based on the original game's assembly code, which means that it is, well, at one point it was basically like a one-to-one decompilation. However, we've made many changes this at this point, and we've rewritten a lot of code to improve it in various ways. I think this was a red herring TFC. These changes look like they're
Yeah.
for Thunder Arrow and stuff. Not actually
Yeah, I
related
don't know.
to what we're looking at right now.
I don't even remember how you got there. Uh,
Looking at your effect issues ticket here,
oh,
or your pull request.
what is it? More effect fixes. Okay, maybe it wasn't that one. Okay, yeah, if I'm
Well, it
looking at the
it does say
PR.
Death Dimension.
No, it does. Yeah, incorrect blending on effects. For example, red glow effect in Death Dimension is
This is
one of the
also
things.
electricity,
It
lightning, lightning.
wouldn't have been a gradient. Anyway,
Yeah, true. So we should probably look at the screen capture effect, see how that's been changed. Um,
might have just been that missing.
it looks like you just shuffled some stuff around, actually.
Could be.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
That's what I mean. I think somehow this has to be like more on the OpenGL side. Because like I said, I think if I recall correctly, this effect was previously working normally.
Yeah, I do
It might
want
be easier to
to.
like if these are associated, it might be easier to approach this from like why is Midnight Terror overly bright and see if we fix that, if it fixes this as well.
Yeah, I want to. We need to track down what that effect is the only thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we could
let's
probably
bring that
figure that
effect
out.
up, and I'll open up the script debugger, and we can take a look at what's allocated.
Shouldn't take much.
Zachary, there is already a randomizer mod available. It's Iron Goon, created by Ink. If you are interested in that, you can pop into our Discord server. We have a modding channel here, and this has various mods and things like that in here. There's Stramod, Battle Rewards modifier. This lets you change how much golden experience you get from bosses, or not bosses, just enemies. And then there's Iron Goon, which is a um, basically very, very customizable randomizer mod. There's a lot of things that you can do with it. Okay. Rose. So we'll bring up Death Dimension. Shit, Death Dimension is not actually what I wanted to look at. It was Midnight Terror. So we're just gonna speed through this.
Death Dimension. Gosh.
And I probably don't have a Midnight Terror either. I do not. Alright. We'll get there. We'll get there.
You can just add them in the middle of battle.
Can you?
Yeah.
I guess it does build the list in battle. Alright. So Midnight Terror, we're going to start this effect. And we'll just pause it here. And in the script debugger, we should be able to see all of the effects that are allocated. There's a def manager. Particle effect. Particle effect seems somewhat likely to be it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the particle effect. How do we test this? If I go into here
Yeah,
and
that should be a particle.
Okay, here's an idea. Probably a quad particle. If I do a frame advance, yeah, so we are seeing this in here. If I just comment out this entire thing, and refresh, and yeah, it's a particle effect, quad particle.
Yeah. No, it's the. I would assume it's the same basic thing as the running dust cloud, which I know is a particle.
Alright, so there's various color stuff going on in here. Apologies for this looping sound. It's just gonna happen. Now, we're dividing these by 128. I wonder if that needs to be 256. Let's take a look at this method in 2.1. Can you confirm that this was working in 2.1?
Yeah, I'm going back.
Unfortunately, I updated IntelliJ not long before the stream, so it's gonna have to set up a bunch of stuff before we can search here, but this won't take too long. It'll just need to index and whatnot. Should be fine. Shouldn't take long. Yeah, before we can compare to the 2.1 code, we should definitely make sure that it's working in 2.1. Rather than, you know, accidentally comparing to code that is actually broken. That's definitely something that we've done before. Alright, there we go. It has indexed. Now, if we take a look at this, we're just gonna see how this is being used. Color is an output. That is used there. That's loaded directly into...
It took longer back in 2.1.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy how far we've come. You know what? I'm just going to make that change and we're gonna see what happens. That's still looking excessively bright to me.
Yep. Also, other alternative, because I'm just trying to remember what the effect looks like. They might not all supposed to be, like, exactly on top of each other.
That is true, and that would definitely affect it. Oh yeah, man, what a time RB1 was. That was... It seems like so long ago, like, I barely even remember RB1. But it was really only like a couple of years ago. Sorry for burning out your irises, Pony Bro.
Okay. Yeah, those particles, so there is like a bright core of it, but it's a lot smaller, and a bunch of those particles should be like going off along the ground
Okay. That
other places. At
certainly...
least they were doing that in 2.1. I'll double check like the retail, but I think that's correct.
RB1 was only last March? Are you kidding me?
What? No. We did, we put out RB2 and like, didn't we put out RB2 of March and like 2 years ago? 1 year ago? Some amount of time?
I think he means like the March of 2023, not like this year.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I thought 2 was March of one of those years.
RB2 was July 8th, 2023.
Wow, July? Maybe March was just when I started
And RB1
working
was
more on it.
March 26th.
Goddamn.
Yeah. And goddamn, we fixed a lot of stuff. Major improvements. Game is playable.
That is a major improvement.
Oh yes, that was when we made the unpacker like 75% faster. Do you remember the original unpacker TFC?
I don't know. When was like, did you update it already for 2?
RB1 was when we sped up the unpacker the first time.
Oh God.
Before, yeah, no, before RB1, it would take like 10 plus minutes to unpack.
No, I don't know if I ever unpacked that part. Also,
Now it's like
what?
13 seconds.
Okay, we'll ignore that for now. But yeah, I've checked some alternative footage, and yeah, there should be like puffs of particles going out in different directions
Okay, do you have a video of that you
during
can send me?
specs. Yeah, let me. I got a big long video. Let me time. Oh, good. Uh, timestamp 420. There we go.
Alright, let's take a look at this. That timestamp sure didn't work.
Oh. Did I not do? I know why it didn't work. I didn't do T equals.
Okay, yeah, those should be fanning out a bit.
Yeah. We are getting no fanning. So this might be like one of our. This might actually be like a particle function error.
Hmm. I wonder if this was working before the particle engine overhaul.
An interesting question.
Um. Hmm. Let's find out. All right, commit list. I think this was the particle stuff. Yes, it was. All right. Let's just grab the commit before that. Oh, I have some changes here. That was just that. All right. Yes, game is playable is definitely more than we can say for a lot of AAA games. By the way, anybody who's new here, if you like what we're doing, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you really like what we're doing here and you want to support me and Severed Chains, there is a donation link in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You can send a one-off donation, or you can subscribe monthly for various perks. Oh yes, the transparent bird's back. Um, okay, so it did look like the particles were flying off when it first started, but they're just way too bright. And now I'm not sure if that is actually happening on main or not.
Hmm.
So we're gonna check that. Verb is no longer loosened. I don't know, it kind of looks the same.
So there might just be an issue in one of the particles that was never actually dealt with. Right, this is quad. What am I doing?
Yeah, I don't know, it might... The positioning might actually be fine, and... I don't know. I'm gonna try starting the effect with that change applied and see what happens.
Could also be a scaling issue.
It could be. They do just look way too big. But we have seen things being way too big being a symptom of the colors being wrong, so... Okay, yeah, no change whatsoever with that. This code might not even be used here. So let's take a look at quad particle. So what are we looking at here? A lot of stuff, unfortunately. How is sizing handled? So we are definitely using rescaling. Where's the render call? Okay. So we have this transforms matrix. Those transforms are set to these transforms. And these transforms are not getting updated here. Where are they getting updated? They're passed in right here. Yeah, elemental, they are definitely quite a bit bigger, like considerably bigger. I'm not even convinced that they are too bright, actually. Yeah, TFC, I'm not even convinced they're too bright. Because, like, the blob of them is, like, completely opaque with the layering.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think they're too bright. I just think there's too many of them overlapping, like all in the same space.
I think they're also too big.
Yeah, which could be the reason they're all overlapping.
Yeah.
It's just like too many things stacked up. But like this could be potentially why other things like I don't know if that would be a similar case of dark mist. I don't really know how dark mist works.
Okay, so the transformation matrix is just a scaling matrix. And it is scaled based on a Z depth here. So let's just take a look at this effect and compare it between RB2 and this.
That's for a lot of things we haven't named yet. This is clearly not code we've really spent time in.
Yeah. Did you confirm that it's working in RB2? TFC? Did I lose you? Oh, you're muted.
Let me confirm that again. I did check it, and then I immediately deleted the information from my mind.
That checks out. So we're already rendering a quad particle. I am assuming that is just the thrown item effect.
Yeah, it was work. That's right. I do remember mentioning it is working in RB2.
Okay, so we just have to skip through this.
So it's something we broke, possibly when we new mathed it.
Yeah, it's scaling. The size is based on the Z depth, so it is possible that we did the depth wrong or something. We are very slowly stepping through this. Oh god, those are probably all quads forever. Some mistakes were made. Okay. Um, okay, so that scale seems pretty large, but it is hard to say without actually comparing. Let's compare. So that is a much bigger number that it was being divided with before. Strangely, that would be, with that change that we made there, that would be a 8-bit fixed point, which weren't used very often. Why is it? I don't know why it's not showing up in here, but we're just gonna have to deal with this volume.
Do you have something paused in debugger?
No,
No. Oh,
it's just not showing up in the audio settings for some reason.
cool.
Yeah, that's just OBS. I don't know. Oh well. Oh, right. Item IDs. Not registry IDs.
Not even hex.
Nope. The jarring battle transition. Okay. So we're gonna want to have this locked and loaded and ready to pause. Why did that just minimize so small? Sorry about the repeating audio, it's a 2.1 thing and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, it's kind of insane how much worse this looks.
Including the code.
Yes, including the code. Okay. So the Z values are roughly the same, but we are dividing it from a much larger number and getting a much larger scaling value. And then we are shifting it down by 12. These are ultimately ending up as 120 and 120. Yes, again, sorry about the janky audio here.
That is all we do, Pony Bro.
Okay,
This
that
is what
is...
game development looks like.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so that is shifted down by 8 there, which... I mean, I guess it checks out. So these end up as 7 and 7. And I'm just gonna kill that because I don't want to listen to it. Yeah, and these are 32 and 32. So there is definitely a major difference there.
Yep. By it's like close to a factor of 4. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you're on the same frame between them.
Yeah, probably not.
What's
Okay, so comparing this new and old. It's also possible that these values are wrong, I suppose. Oh god, this code is really something.
yeah. That's not it. Which which particle method or whatever are you looking at for this?
Yeah, we should be able to find out which instance it is.
Sorry, I just meant like this piece of code you were looking at before with the z values and everything. What method? This is the render method. FC updates.
Uh, okay, here's a thing. Um, it's instance 9, which... Hold on, let me find this code. It's instance 9, which uses degrees to radians for the scale. But we're not doing angles here.
Hmm.
I think we may have just figured out the problem.
Yeah. I was just like treated it as an angle instead of a fixed bit value.
Hey, where does this come from, and why did we think that that needed to be? Why did we think that was in degrees?
Damn, I've been muted.
You've been muted?
I guess so.
Who is muting you?
Me.
Oh.
Just some amount of things I said were lost to time.
uh yeah, we're not gonna see a diff there, unfortunately. Okay, so I feel like we're onto something here.
Yeah. Sounds like maybe those should have been fixed point values instead of angles.
I'm going to open another clone on a pre-particle effect. What? Able to read pre? Oh Jesus, this is because I want to be able to see a proper diff of that. We're definitely onto something here. Yeah, sometimes the jank audio is kind of a good beat. Other times it's awful. Okay, well this looks much different. Was that the wrong method? Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay, so in this version we have this as well. Um
Hold on.
what you got?
Wait, why is this trying to understand the some of these? Am I even in the right? How did all this get changed?
Okay, we need to
I'm
go
just trying to figure out
older.
how I got from like the width and height in the old code to like the scaling in the new code.
What's up, Drin? You
You
did make it.
see, like, is there a reason that you dropped the divided by two out of the scaling?
No. I want to
Because
say no.
width in the old code is width divided by two times horizontal scale and height divided by two times vertical scale. But the transform scaling is only doing horizontal scale times width and vertical scale times height, but there's no dividing by two. Am I just missing where that is, or did it get yeeted by accident?
It very likely got yote. Oh god, this is When you go to expand a file and your browser just completely locks up. Okay, so that degrees to radians is there for a while. Um, I'm trying to trace back. Oh, this was the tag pre-particle refactor. Huh. Okay, sorry, what were you saying before? I was extraordinarily distracted.
Uh, hold on. Just see if this changes it. See what's going on here. No, it's still not working.
You were saying something got
Interesting.
undivided by 2.
Yeah, and under uh, FCC 20, where it's calculating width and height, it's dividing effect
Um,
width and
the
height
reason
by
for
2.
that is because it was doing half negative and half positive.
Yeah. Okay, so that's just, we're just undoing that. Okay.
Yeah, that's unrelated. Um,
Interestingly, it didn't really seem to fix much and change much anyway. So
yeah, I'm like quite certain that it is this here.
yeah, I mean,
Unfortunately, with how much we've restructured this code, actually like tracing back when that change happened is really tricky.
doesn't help that there's like some critical intermediary steps that are broken and can't be run.
Yeah. If I do this, I might be able to track it down. Um, okay, I found the commit. Says refactor a lot of scaling code.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be related. Perhaps more than refactoring the daddy statics.
Now, here's a great question. Why?
Why did you refactor it?
Why did I do this?
Uh, no idea.
What is gonna happen if I just take these values and .12 them? My intuition absolutely says that this is the problem.
Yeah, I feel like this will probably work. Kind of unfortunate because that would make it unrelated to all of these other issues.
Yeah, that looked like it was it.
Uh, yep, that looks much more normal.
Okay, let's take a look at that from the jump. Yeah, that looks right, right?
I don't know. Give us all a few seconds.
I'm pretty sure
That
that's it.
looks basically right to me.
Yeah. Okay. So that is an unknown number of other things fixed.
Yeah. Uh, what method was that in?
Particle instance 8 before render.
I'm afraid I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of
Y-
particle instances.
You should. We do have some more instances of this as well. Yeah, so very likely that this should just be that. Now it just feels underwhelming.
You found more random scale angles.
Yeah, I found another one that was just below that in the humongous ass diff here.
Do you know how many bugs have been fixed by changing like a single line that had massive impact?
Yep. Now I have no idea how much this actually will change. You know, this will affect 3 particle instances out of 64 different particle types. So, you know, it could be basically we only fixed like 1 or 2 things, but it could also be we fixed like 40 things that all use the same effect. And it's really hard to say. Um, Death Dimension Swirl blending too dark. I don't think that that would be related to this. We were thinking it would be at first, but now we're thinking it's not, right?
Yeah, I don't think it is, but um, who knows?
Yeah, full screen is available in the dev build. Oh, speaking of retail bugs, this is a retail bug as well. I spent a long time trying to figure out what was going on here, and yeah, I should have just checked retail. I should always check retail before trying to figure out if something's broken or why something's broken. Because that's just in the base game. Okay, this might actually be fixed by the other stuff that we did. Do I have a psych bomb? I do not. We can just add one.
Was that a rotation error?
It looked like it.
Yeah, might be fixed then.
That looks right to me.
Isn't the rainbow swirl supposed to still be there though?
I don't know. I don't know what these things look like.
So I think we have a disappearing effect on Psych Bomb. That video I sent you is like all of the magic items. By the by.
Good to know. It looked like there was going to be a Psych Bomb in this video, but
When you get it.
I could have sworn I saw it in the thumbnail, but...
This is just
Alright.
showing where you get the Psych Bomb.
I don't suppose there's timestamps. There are no time. Oh, there's timestamps. Look at this legend. Who are you? The Oracle.
This Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, I mean, that looked the same as ours, so... Okay, that was this.
No, ours drops the rainbow glow over the swirls. It disappears after like this initial startup.
Yeah, you're right. Wish you weren't, but...
Out the eye. They see too much.
Scratch that. Missing central rainbow blob after first part. Alright.
I wish I could remember now, but I feel like I remember seeing another issue where somebody said like part of an effect disappeared.
There's the feathers in Shauna's transformation that you can see like causing a cutout in the glowing cylinder, but you can't actually see the feathers. No idea
No,
what's
I
going
mean
on
like
there.
specifically one where like a piece of an effect showed up and then like disappeared, like with Psych Bomb. Like I thought I just saw one like that yesterday.
I don't know what that's supposed to look like either. Here's another retail bug for you, chat. Check out Hashel right here. Yeah, he just looks like that. That's not a Severed Chains bug. You can fire that up on your PS1 right now. And see this. And this. That is in Lohan when Lavitz finds out that King Albert is has been kidnapped and brought to Helena, and he tries to like run out of Lohan, and Haschel comes and just knocks him the hell out. Just absolutely clocks him.
There's a lot of janky animation, like model interpolation in the game.
Yep.
Like if you're ever step by stepping through the Lavitz oof scene, when Shauna spins to Rose, there's a frame where all of her limbs just disjoint and kind of twist.
Yep. Yes, he is straight up not having a good time. Um yeah, you already had an issue open for this. The black center of the
Yeah,
red glow.
The Haschel thing is just for like it's a few frames. Yeah, I made issues for all of those.
Yeah.
Uh, God, what was I doing? I just thought of something and I was wondering if it had been fixed. No, I can't remember. Oh, well, guess it's not fixed now, whatever it was.
That's interesting. There's like a bright white flash, like pure white with a green outline. I wonder if that's been fixed, but I also don't care enough to check right now.
I have not noticed that when I've been checking that one Divine Dragon attack, so I
Yeah,
think it might be fixed.
cool beans. Zachary, we haven't found any indication of cut story content, unfortunately. Um, we have found a small amount of beta content, um, and also demo content that's left over in the game, but like no indication of like anything cut from the story. I have found some like unused code and things like that. Like there's I can show you here if I can find it.
So the closest thing to like cut content that I can think of is on disc 2 when Rose and Dart are in the cave and you get the whole dragon campaign FMV. At some point in development there was a series of just regular like in submap engine like flashback conversations between Rose and Zeeg where like he's training her to fight and stuff like that that used to
True,
exist.
true.
Um, Unclear if there's anything left of that other than
The
the
dialogue.
dialogue. Like there's no assets for it that I know of, and I have a feeling the like actual code is probably not there anymore, but the
Yeah.
dialogue remained.
Yeah, we found various bits of like cut dialogue and stuff like that. There's this cut transition effect that I'm showing right now. There's like some testing code and whatnot. Um, there's edition callouts for Miranda. She had like 5 or 6 editions planned, I guess. In Japanese. They didn't translate those obviously, but um,
I hate to
there.
say it, Pony Bro, but we've been there for years with finding the cut story content. I dumped all of the dialogue entire game years ago and have like looked through all of it at
Hmm,
some point. And like, yeah, there's some like cut lines and stuff and bits of dialogue here and there that don't get used, but there's not other than like that scene pretty much. There's nothing big that would involve like actual story. that's still there.
There's a couple of like cut attacks and stuff like that. Icarus, I think just yesterday restored a random thing for Lloyd. Yeah. This attack just had like a name associated with it. Spectrum Sword. It's the regular attack that he uses normally in the hero competition, but it had a name at some point. Yeah. Mostly just fairly minor things like that. Oh yeah. This with the ice chunks spinning wildly. Yep.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I almost like it better with the spinning strokes.
I find that surprising coming from you.
Just not in like a we should leave it kind of sense, but just as like the appearance of the effect.
Some particles have incorrect scaling. I'm gonna commit this code now, the stuff that we fixed. Fix particle scaling at 1806. Bug that makes the game look better, yeah. Actually, when I was first working on the animation code, there was briefly a bug that kind of made some of the animations look a little bit better. Um, Now what? This? No. Let me see. I believe it was on the first map in Celeste. That's definitely not it, but that's some real old stuff. This is what Severed Chains used to look like. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, basically what it was it made the animations like smoothly shift between one animation to the other, rather than just kind of snapping to it. All right. So how do we want to figure this one out? That's going to be TMD particles. Um, so I would say we put Maru into the party. And she doesn't have any SP. I should have been
But you're
quicker.
gonna test Frozen Jet.
Oh, I was thinking we were looking at one of Maru's spells.
Oh, okay.
Do I have any frozen jets? I do. Cool. Alright, we're gonna frame advance. And we are going to drop a breakpoint in there, frame advance again. This is gonna tell us what type of particle it is. Um, let's here. We should have a link to it through one of these objects. So instance 39. Why is that saying particle effect? Oh, because that's the superclass. Okay, so instance 39 is the active particle here. Um, will it be possible to edit the Dragoon transformations? Technically we can edit anything that we want to. It's a lot of work, but yes, you could make a completely new, like any kind of effect you wanted to. Okay. So I'm guessing it's related to this.
Thought it was instance 39.
39 extends 21.
Oh. Oh god. Didn't realize it got that bad.
Yeah, it gets pretty complicated. There's a lot of types that share with others. Like they reference the same callback methods.
Hmm. Yeah, true, true.
Okay, so let's take a look at this in 2.1. Actually, again, would you mind verifying that this worked in 2.1?
Yeah. Give me a second here. Think. No, I don't have a. Do you happen to know the item ID for Frozen Jet?
We can just go into technical documents and find out.
You were already in there earlier.
It is F3. That should
What
be,
is that
what,
in
243? Yeah,
the
243.
243 in Zychronics numbers?
Yep. At least we don't need to deal with Zamboni numbers anymore. And
That's true.
soon we'll get rid of Zychronics numbers as well.
All right, let's see here. And I never really paid attention to how much the water level changes over the course of this animation. It looks like they were working. I saw a chunk that just kind of fell straight down and bounced.
Okay.
Looked correct.
Now here's the thing. I'm not seeing any rotation.
I mean, we were seeing a lot of rotation.
We were seeing a lot in the actual effect.
I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Quick, everyone talk about how cool TFC is while he's gone. Now I am seeing a divide by 100 here, which seems suspicious. Crazy, right, Chocolate? I mean, I'm Canadian and I've never seen a flying Zamboni. Hmm. This is strange. It's kind of funny that TFC is one of the only non-Canadian Severed Chains devs, yet has the most Canadian name of us all. We're gonna have to start that effect over to see it. To see the change that I just made, rather. Thank you, Garrett. Well, that sure didn't fix it. Okay, how are we getting rotation here? We go back to the TMD particle. I wonder if it's using these. All right, so I also want to check the debugger and see if there's any other TMD particle effects. Okay, we do have multiple particle effects allocated right now. So it's possible we're looking at the wrong one. Okay, so we're gonna frame advance and how did we find that before? It was effect. Wait. Could just be this. Okay, so that's 39, and what are we looking at here? Okay, so we do not have this. Now, do we have other particles? This is all the same effect. Okay, we're looking at a different effect now. We've got instance 44. Chat, Liv just got home. Everybody say hi to Liv. Liv, say hi to everybody. Liv says, ah. Okay, so we've got 39, which references 21. We have 44. Pony Bro says hi. Chocolate says hi. Drin says hi. Come on, you can do better than that. There's 32 people here. Sora says hi. J-Man says hi. Actually, he says hi, hi. Garrett says hi. I don't know if you can hear her, but she sounds very tired. Brinksta says hi. Ninshi says hi. She says hi, everyone. Okay, so this one's using particle instance 44. Again, we're not seeing any rotation here. Zachary also says hi. Pony Bro says understandable, being a human's very tiring. Okay, there are a lot of particle instances rendering right now. That was the full frame. And we only saw particle types 39 and 44. Michael says, "What's good?" She says nothing. I think she is going to have a shower and go to bed. No stream appearance tonight. Don't we all, Garrett? Don't we all? Are you gonna make a stream appearance, Liv? Liv's hair is making a stream appearance.
Okay, I'm back.
What's up? You came back just in time to see Liv's hair.
I did. I think it is. I think it is only fair to mention that I still had one headphone in this entire time, so I've heard all of the dirty things you've said about me.
Damn. So I've made no progress whatsoever.
Nice.
The TMD particles that are being rendered are instances 44 and 39. There's multiple TMD particle effects rendering.
Hmm.
Neither of those have anything related to rotation. So it must be like a rotation attachment or something.
Okay, what script is Frozen Jet?
Uh You mean like the def script?
Yes. Because if we know the def script and the particle flags, we can find where they're allocated and see if they're attaching like a rotate
Well, you are
thing.
in luck, TFC, because you can just bring up the law defs file in severed chains.
My
And
God, I did not know that even existed.
yes, this was part of the refactor, the major item refactor.
Wow.
Um, yeah,
Still discovering things.
there is a def registry now, and modders can register their own defs if they want to.
Register their own deaths.
Yes, they can register their own deaths because that's what they will be wishing that they could experience after trying to create a def.
What was that? 4409? Is that still going to be in? You haven't
4409,
like
yes.
factored those into other folders, have you?
Negative.
Good. Oh no.
What?
Which file is
The script
which
is
file is actually the script?
script is 0.
Script is 0. Okay, good.
It's the one
That's
outside
easy
of the
enough.
folder.
And I already have the script disassembler code open, so I can just
Oh, there you go.
give that a run.
Um, hold on. Oh, no. Wait. What? Huh? Oh, the script will
What?
be in 44.0 will be in 44.10.
What? Oh. Well, that
Yeah.
explains why all I got was a bunch of data.
Yeah, defs are spread across two files.
Oh, I remember that now. How annoying. Alright, let's try that again. Yep, and there's the one.
Yep. It's past my bedtime, chat.
Mm. Oh, right. That doesn't seem right. Or does it?
What a great question.
There's a lot of. Okay. I don't. There's a lot of stuff in this script that I don't think gets decompiled. And I'm not sure if that's like an error or there's just a lot of unused code in here.
That's a pretty good question. Why am I looking at scale?
Allocate part. Okay, I found all the allocate particle effects.
Mm-hmm.
We got 4 of them. I don't
Okay.
suppose you happen to check the flags for these.
Well, there's several particle effects. One is FFF03. One
Yep.
is 136504. Actually, the other ones are all 136504.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know which of those is the ice chunks?
Nope.
Great. Yeah, I don't know. Uh,
Do you
so
see all of
the
those?
FFF, yeah, I see them all. The FFF03 just does set relative position, set relative scale, and set generic effect value. So do the first two 136504s. The next one might be adding a position scalar attachment, but I don't
Okay.
see any like
We're looking
rotation
for...
attachments.
Yeah. We're looking for rotation. Just control F for, like, rotate.
Mm.
um... Yeah, that's just pulling out the rotations. Not what we are looking for.
I see 9 instances of script set relative rotation, and near the beginning there is a script rotate bob towards point, and I see no rotation attachments.
Huh. Yeah, there are a lot of people who are interested in an achievement system. It's definitely something that we'd like to integrate with. Thanks, Garrett and J-Man. None of those. That relative rotation is a possibility, but I mean, there's nothing strange going on there.
No, so much would be broken if that were not working.
Hmm. None of this stuff's even getting used because it doesn't have this flag cleared, so that's definitely unrelated. Like it's gotta be the particle transforms. Rotation XYZ, particle metrics rotation. Okay, it's coming from here. Um so it's taking instance dot sprite rotation. It's got a sprite rotation step. Okay.
Seems promising.
Yes, I think we are on to something. So that is a random value in the range of negative 2 pi over 32 to positive 2 pi over 32. Let's see what RB2 does. Uh, 78. Mod 129, which would be a random number between negative 64 and positive 64. Yeah, we don't have the concept of disks at all, Zachary. Severed Chains, the first time that you run it, it just unpacks all the files and merges everything together. There's no disk changing at all. So 4096 should be 2 pi. Forty 96 divided by 128 is 32. It's 1/32. So that seems to check out. Wait. No, that's right. Never mind. Unwait. Everything's fine, unfortunately. Yeah, that is 1/64th. I was gonna say number bigger, but it's because it's an inverse. We don't need to convert to radians because it's already in radians. How does angle come into play? Is that only used for... Yeah, it's only used for quad particles.
Hmm.
Add manager rotation. Okay, so what happens if we do this for now? Reload files. Forgot I had a breakpoint set. Yeah, those are still going crazy.
What have you comment out the sprite rotation?
I want to take
as
a look
well.
at what these values are real quick. Okay, so we are getting into this method. Rotation step is, I mean, it's not big, right?
No. Is that rads?
Yeah, it's rads. I mean, it's 5 degrees per frame. Maybe that is big.
Hmm. Is there something in here where... Nope, never mind. That's a negative.
Okay.
Don't even worry about it.
Carry on, everyone. Alright, we are once again taking a look at the recommended build 2.1 because I want to compare some values. Alright, we've got 3 frozen jets already. That is perfect. Even the sounds are crunchy in 2.1. Those are really small numbers. Like, way, way smaller. That's 6 PSX degrees. That's a factor of 10, right?
6 out of
Yeah, look at that.
4096. Yeah. How do we get an extra 0?
Like, that is actually a factor of 10. Okay. Shit, those are random numbers, but I mean, that's still a damn big difference.
What's the... Hold on.
Factors of 10 don't just happen normally in
Yeah,
code.
so the largest, like 64, you said it was negative 64 to 64. 64 divided by 4096 is 0.0156.
Yeah, 64 is 1/64th
Yeah. Oh,
of 2 pi.
so it is. So 2 times pi. So 0.098 should be like our maximum value.
Let's drop a breakpoint in here and then, well, we don't really even need to do that. What if we just say 0.5 for the float? Um, what am I doing wrong here? Oh, because that's right in the middle of the range, obviously. Okay, and now if we come over to 2.1 and 3/4 of 128 should be 96. Oops. Yeah, 96. So 96 times, or mod 128 is just 96 minus 64. And then if we do math helper dot psx degrees to radians, we get the exact same value. So the math is right. It must have just been random difference. Which is unfortunate.
Well, it
Thought
makes it
we
seem like they're all getting high rotation values instead of like a distribution.
uh, they're all rotating too fast. Like none of them in 2.1 are going anywhere even remotely close to that speed.
Are you in TMD particle?
So it's not the manager rotation, it's just straight up this rotation here. Now we've got the particle metrics. That
Uh-oh.
is what?
There's a thunderstorm in the area, and I think the lights just flickered slightly.
Oh, rip.
If I suddenly disappear, you'll know what happened.
Fair enough. I wonder if it's this scale.
What
I bet it's that scale.
what initializer are you looking at?
Please hold. We might have to. I'm just looking in TMD particle and then the regular initializer in particle effect instance.
Cool.
Fucking, what is it called? Frozen jet. It was not the rotation.
Like they're still spending a lot.
Or sorry, it was not the scaling. Unless I forgot to recompile. Yeah, no, they're still going crazy.
I'm getting an actual range of values initially. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that all looks pretty damn normal. Okay, so sprite rotation is all this 311. The different one. 2.5, 2.5, 1.5. And next frame, it's still 311. 1.5, 2.5, 1.5. Um, huh? These values are like barely changing. If they're changing at all, I guess they are. But it's very small, which, I mean, is what we would expect. Huh. Like there's really nothing else going into this matrix. It's just the rotation from the particle metrics.
Hmm.
Um, and we're just using that like verbatim. It's not using this stuff here. I'm not sure what to make of this. Are you?
Hold on. That was bizarre. Hold on. Let me check this again.
Just as
Okay,
a
I'm not
sanity
muted. Good.
check. Just as a sanity check, if I remove the rotation step altogether, do they stop rotating? They do not stop rotating. Okay.
So much for the sanity check.
The sanity check has shown insanity.
There is no sanity. Yeah, the sprite rotation value is changing rapidly between frames.
I
It's
mean, you're not
making like
wrong, J-Man, but something is broken.
the sprite rotation value is changing by like half a circle
Yeah, so it's still
like
going fucking wild
every
there.
time. Okay, what else is sprite rotation doing? So it's adding, setting that to that. So it's adding this here. Should be hitting that?
Follow-up
Sprite
sanity
rotation
check.
step.
We're resetting the rotation matrix to identity after the rotation has been set.
Sprite rotation. And 2, 3, 1, 0.
Yeah, it's still rotating with the rotation
What?
gone. Um
Hold on a minute. What is happening here?
further sanity check, I guess. I'm just gonna keep commenting stuff out until something breaks.
Okay, that's right. Pick
What?
attributes. Where is that used?
What is going on?
Alright, hold on.
Is this not a TMD particle effect? Or something? Like,
Hold
I am...
on just a gosh darn minute.
Alright, I am holding. Okay,
Okay, where
here's
are we?
something. Okay, TFC, here is something. These small particles are no longer rotating. This might be completely unrelated to the particle effect.
So we might be looking at the wrong thing here.
So if I uncomment this stuff out, are we going to see this start moving again?
That
Yes.
should be on the instance.
Yes. That is it. These are not TMD particles.
They're just TMDs, like probably def TMDs or something, right?
Great question. I mean, that seems like an awful lot of things. Now,
Def
there are
TMDs, we come back to you again, my friend.
3 LMB animations loaded.
Ooh. Interesting.
Could they be in control of that movement?
Quite possibly. Do we know what kind of LMB?
Unfortunately not. Because there are 3 types.
Yes. There sure is a whole lot of code in LMBs.
Yeah, that would be very useful, J-Man. I have thought about adding a uh scripted effect debugger. Um and really should get around to implementing that. Okay, so do you see LMB in that script?
Uh, let find out.
Zachary, we do support save
What
anywhere.
is
There's an option in the gameplay menu. We can't do save states because it's not an emulator.
we do have let's see. 3 allocations of LMB animations.
Okay. I see 3 LMB scripts loaded right now.
Yeah. Where what is function 1181A8?
Um,
Because that's called after the LMBs are allocated, and we have not named that.
yeah, it's setting an array value at offset 14.
Thrilling.
Um, it appears to be an array of def flags, maybe? Maybe that's setting what def it is controlling?
It's just that one comes away.
It is, in fact, attaching itself to a def using that parameter.
Mm. What is the LMB flags? Okay, where's script allocate? What do they do with flags?
Great question.
Where's param1? That's flags. This is where, okay, they use the flags. This is where they're identifying whether it's one of the basic particles or if it's a TMD. They use that to get the LMB type.
Um,
Would be in here.
hmm. Yeah, Zachary, Separate Chains has been fully playable for a little over around 2 years. We are in the process of working on the next version right now, which has drastically improved graphics, among many, many other things. TFC, that
Yeah.
14 array appears to just be arbitrary data.
Cool. Huh.
Oh no, sorry. This is a different object that just also happens to have an unnamed array 14. Disregard.
Disregarding. I am studying what LMB type we're working with here. We are working with a type 2 LMB.
Okay, I am looking at the type 2 LMB code right now. There's um hmm.
That's where a lot of stuff. Process LMB type 2.
Okay, so we do have some rotation changes here.
Okay, they're like piping data in.
I wonder
Okay.
if
Yep.
these need to
Yep. Yep.
be,
Yep. Are you thinking that same spot of code?
yeah, where it's reading in the rotation and shifting it by shift.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not, we haven't done anything to change that
We have not.
for
And in other
working with
places,
rads.
yeah. In other places where it's set, it is using PSX degrees to rad. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm.
I just scrolled to that. It's like, this is piping values straight from a script and then just shifting them.
Yeah, okay, so we're on the same page here. So if I wrap these in unit conversion, recompile that code. That's not going to fix this run of it. But the next time that's loaded, it should get the updated value. Give myself another frozen jet. Start another fight.
Need a stronger mouse.
Moment of truth. Please.
No spoilers.
Hey! That fixed it.
I said no spoilers.
Oh, sorry, sorry. You're a few seconds
That does
behind.
look correct now.
It
Yeah,
did. Sorry, it
I'm,
didn't fix it.
it's too late. I already saw it. It is working now.
All right.
Not only were we on the same page, we were on the correct page.
We sure were. Fix frozen jet. Let's say
Everyone in chat is getting your
quality.
voice at the same time as the stream, but I am getting it early.
Yep. My bad. LMB type 2 rotation. Frozen jet closes. 1479. This is another thing that might fix other things, but
Yeah.
for whatever
Check
reason,
the. Okay, I'll check it after. I think the Divine Dragon actually uses that attack might actually use an LMB. I'm gonna check that after I update this code.
for some reason, Legend of Dragoon, the developers decided that they wanted to invent like 15 new animation formats. Um, there's three different types of LMB animation. We call them LMB because it says LMB at the start of the file. There's a CMB animation. There is VDF, which is vertex deformation, which is used for like fabric animations and things like that, like where a mesh, the vertices of a mesh need to actually like move individually and not as like an entire just like hinged movement. Then there
Yeah,
is,
anything that's like stretchy, squishy, or bendy is using a VDF.
yeah, Lloyd's cape when it's blowing in the wind, darts, cannon when he's using the Divine Dragon cannon. Um, uh,
Celelus's strappy tentacles.
yep. There's also at least two other animation formats as well. It's just it's all over the place. Same as the model formats. There's I don't even know. It's ridiculous. So, you know, this might be used for like one or two things, and that's literally it. Is what I'm trying to get at.
That didn't do anything for the Divine Dragon. Oh
Okay.
well.
Well, that's another thing that we fixed though, so
Still a bug fix.
unfortunately we keep fixing things that are unrelated to what we have set out to fix. But
We'll
it's
get there
progress
eventually.
nonetheless. I'm telling you, like we just have to keep like going after these like more isolated fixes, and eventually we are going to accidentally fix the things that
Well,
we actually want to fix.
those are isolated fixes. They're just really hard ones.
I mean, it's a bunch of stuff like layered on top of each other, so it's difficult to see what's actually going on there.
Yeah.
There's so
Well,
many things going on at once that
that's why I was looking at the Divine Dragon like spell casting roar, because it's just got this one like textured plane that's just positioned in the wrong spot and like rotated wrong. There's only
yeah.
one thing there to look at.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing to look at for sure.
I don't know if it's going to be the same fix, but it's like this one's at least easier to see what's going on. Because like
Yeah.
with Dark Dragon is like maybe I would have a better idea if I could free cam around like an old renderer, but that was not a thing that existed. So I can't see where stuff was actually supposed to be.
I mean, we could fork 2.1 with FreeCam.
Would that work? Because every time if you pause in the older renderer, it just the screen is black unless you're like actually advancing frames.
That is a great question, actually. I think it should still have all of the render packets. Yeah, it'll still have the Z queues. We don't have to clear them. That's the same. Basically, the way that FreeCam works in the dev build is when you pause it, it just keeps replaying the same queued render commands.
Mm,
But 2.1 works the same way. It just has a very different render queue. And that's the same way that the pause works there as well. It just keeps rendering the same thing over and over again. Um, the issue with it twitching is that it still continues flipping the back buffers.
oh
Um,
yeah, I forgot about the twitching.
yeah.
That's another thing we need to fix at some point is all of the combat animation twitching. Like,
Yeah, so that is
not that I don't love the Haschel rave party, but
Ed Garrett teabagging.
yeah,
That is
teabagging.
that is one of the absolute funniest things that I have ever seen. Yeah, so that's an issue with the updated like I rewrote the animation interpolation code and it seems to be broken when the animation's supposed to stop.
Hmm.
Because like
But it also
there's
does,
supposed to be no movement there.
yeah, it also does weird things in some other scenes, like when Miru is transforming or she like does a spin and she like spaghettifies in the new code.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Like I did have to double check to make sure that wasn't like retail interpolation weirdness, but it is actually severed chains.
Yeah, there's something weird going on there. I don't know what. Uh, Drew, no, you've never been able to free cam while the game's unpaused. You technically can, but you have to comment out the code. You have to comment out the camera code. No, Charismatic, this is a PC port. So it'll run on Windows, Macs, Linux, Steam Deck, but it won't run on consoles.
I guess if you had a jailbroken console and you could get all the appropriate libraries on there and get them running
Yeah, I
and like
mean,
compiled for whatever engine.
you would have to get Java running on it and then compile all of the C libraries that we use for that architecture. It's technically probably possible, but not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's practically impossible.
Yeah. If somebody was like way too dedicated to that working, I'm sure that they could get it running. Way, let me emphasize that. Way too dedicated.
Like, are we off the scale of like zero to reverse engineering the Legend of Dragoon here?
I mean, for cost to benefit, probably. For
That's true.
total,
It is technically already on PS3.
just not Severed Chains, which I
Just not
assume
Sever
is what they were
Chains.
asking about. Yeah, anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah.
We fixed a couple of very weird bugs, not what we actually set out to resolve, but you know, it is all stuff that needs to be fixed one way or another. So, you know, progress is progress.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Midnight Terror Fog was like one of the things
True,
that
true.
I had in mind to resolve, and we did that.
Yeah, that is very true. We did kind of assume it was going to be related to some of the other stuff too, but it didn't end up being. But you know, that's fine. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna try and keep up with the dev streams now that we've got those really, really, really major issues ironed out. I think it'll be a lot easier to continue doing them going forward now that we're not just, as I said, you know, banging our heads on the same issue for literally months and months and months on end.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Is there anything that you wanted to say before we go, TFC?
Nope. I got nothing.
Cool. So yeah, tune in to the dev stream next week, assuming that I have one scheduled. You will see it in our scheduled streams on YouTube, if so, as well as scheduled on Discord. My wife is also doing her very, very first playthrough of the game, and we are streaming that as well. She's doing that on Sundays now. We are switching the day from Monday to Sunday because she's working during the week now. So make sure you catch that next Sunday. Huge thanks to all of my Ko-fi supporters. If you would like to support me and my projects, there is a donation link in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You can send a one-off donation or subscribe monthly for various perks. Also remember to leave a like on the video, comment after the stream is done if you wouldn't mind. YouTube loves that. And subscribe if you want to see more from us. Thanks for everybody. Thanks to everyone who tuned in tonight, and have a good night. We'll see you next time.